everyone, I hope you're well. Welcome to my channel. So this is where I do channeled readings for twin flames, and this is a reading for the moon, which is in a new moon right now, and it's in Cancer. And let's have a look and see what they say about it. So they show me horse's head. It's like one of those things that children used to hop about on when they were little in the oh god, must be like centuries ago, like pretending to ride a horse. It's like a stick with some handles and a horse's head. Anyway, so they show me one of those. So what does that mean? What does it mean? Fun times ahead. They've got two children messing about together with this. Two little boys had two little toys. It's like that song they're singing. I can't remember the rest of the song. Two little boys had two little toys. Each had a wooden horse. That's how it goes, right? So it's movement. It's movement. And it's about coming together as children. So reunion energy, basically, and fun times ahead. Let's just get some cards out. Cancer is all about love. It's a really nice energy, this moon. You might have noticed that you went down in vibration just before the moon, perhaps to clear up some mess in aisle 5. So perhaps you had to revisit some negative emotions and you've bounced right back up. And they're showing me like the bounciness of this moon in Cancer, and how it's all like love bubbles bouncing around and very soft and gentle energy, and like marshmallow bubbles, kind of very soft and, bouncy. Right. Let's have a look at the cards. So we've got justice coming out. Liberty, freedom, expansion, and equality. And again, it's duality. It's two. Four of Swords, which is not worrying. So letting go. Maybe today in this moon you're feeling the expansion of higher self. So, this is like 11 as well. It's like the awakening. So maybe you're feeling that connection to higher self and feeling unencumbered by your previous concerns. Maybe you're actually having something turn out for you, turning out right. So, I think I said in the previous reading and in a few of the monthlies it came up, is that at the moment what we're going through is this expansion of consciousness into higher consciousness, where we're going towards events or situations that look quite dark and quite bleak, and there's a sense like a loss of hope that could arrive, or arise, should I say, inside of you in regard to some kind of event. But vibrations are expanding, and consciousness is, you're meeting with your highest consciousness. So what you're actually bringing to you as an end result of a situation, an event, a concern, is going to turn out to be right for you, and it's going to turn out to be bright for you, and it's going to turn out to be what you want. So you may find just before the moon, maybe you got diverted away from something. I had it happen exactly today, in fact about an hour ago, where I had something cancelled that I didn't want to go to, and another thing, it replaced with another thing that I do that's a much better opportunity for me and comes around a lot later. So in a sense I was freed, and from the thing I had to do that I didn't want to do, that was looming, and it was replaced by something that's, further away, and I'm not even going to have to deal with it for a while. So maybe you've had something turn out like that, because when your energy expands into positivity, that's where it goes. So you're not rewarded with the worry, and you're not rewarded with the loss of hope. You're rewarded with where your vibration's at. There's always like an inkling in the brain to like go towards the worry, because it's the normal human response. I think, therefore I am, right, to think about things and blow them out of proportion. However, once your higher self starts taking over from that thinking modality and you start to work from the different modality, you're not allowed to get into that nitty gritty and, expand on loss of hope. You won't find yourself in your head expanding it. You'll find yourself keeping it locked in a box, when people cross their lips and they like turn a key on their lips, it's like that. So you'll find yourself maybe not wanting to share your worries as well, not wanting to when people say a problem shared is a problem halved. Well, it's not. A problem shared is a problem doubled, because the more you talk about something that you're finding an issue, the bigger the issue gets, because you get what you pay your attention to. So if you keep talking about something that you don't like, you're going to get more of what you like. It's not going to shift out of the way until you start accepting what you don't like and loving what you don't like, and then you're going to get what you get from love. So in some sense here, maybe you've arrived at that place, like that sweet spot inside yourself with this Cancer moon, where you are just loving, getting rewards from feeling love, basically. This is reward, justice is like the payoff. This is not worrying. And then we've got mental connection, 8 of Swords. So we're saying that as an individual, to any individual that would apply, but this is a twin flame reading. So what you get is what you get, right? So if you are inside yourself, you're twin flame and you're inside yourself and you're no longer worrying or assisting the pain in growing the pain by focusing on the pain, and you're in a sense, you're more attached to your higher self and you're in a state of let go where you're expanding beyond that. It means you're releasing from this mental construct and confinement that stops your twin from hooking into higher self. Because if they're in the mind, they can only be in the mind if you're in the mind. And if they're in the mind, they're not going to be able to expand it themselves and get into higher self, because they're not the feminine creator principle. You are. So you've got to expand it. I would say you will expand it by distancing yourself from your ego and moving into a state of, well, they just said oblivion. It's like oblivious to your ego, where your ego takes second place. Maybe not even second, like third, fourth, fifth. If it was a beauty pageant, other strange analogies they come up with for me and metaphors, this wouldn't even be in third place. The ego wouldn't be even stood on the plinth. If it was a motor racing win, it wouldn't even be like stood there next to the winner with a bottle of champagne. It would be watching from the sidelines. So when you, the feminine, kind of reverse the process of being human somewhat, it's like you go back to vibrational self. So that means that you come away from worry and pain, because vibration has no worry and pain, because it's not human. So it doesn't worry about human things. It's not concerned with life and death and sex and taxes or twin flame reunion or what job it's going to do or when the money's going to come from or anything like that, because those things are null and void to vibration. So being in your higher self, connected to your vibrational self, at one with your vibrational self, is only in terms of those things. If you're not doing those things, you're connected to higher self. If you are doing them, then you're not. It's as simple as that. So when the feminine finds herself completely distracted from her own ego, I'll give you an example, right? I've got one thing to do today. Well, I've got one thing to do. That's on my agenda. I've had a little bit of pressure from somebody outside of me. There's just added a little dose of pressure to it to kind of give me a certain amount of push to do this thing. But of course, higher self is always go with the flow, and you do when you feel like it. And I know that, and I know it from my ego. But still, you feel the pressure. You feel someone else's pressure, someone else. It's just that person keeps popping into your head. And you keep being reminded that they've said that they'd prefer if you did something sooner, right? However, ignoring that, no matter how much I feel that, the relevance of that person's requirement or need for me to do the thing sooner. I have literally been moving around my house all day, doing things, every other thing, everything that is not that, right? Without feeling any insistence that I get on with doing that thing. It's like I could do if I wanted to. I could be like, oh, I've got to do that thing. I must do that thing. Let's do that thing first. But not without any kind of me going, I'm not doing that thing. Just in a nice state of harmony and peace. And I've had music on, and I've been playing with my dog. We've been kicking a ball around and going out into the garden and back again, and and all these various things, without even feeling that is that requirement is relevant to what I do today. That's the attachment to higher self, right? It's just like, okay, well, I could worry about it, but I'm not gonna. It's not relevant to me. So, empathy. So they just said empathy, because when you're an empath, you feel everything, right? And you feel everybody else. So you feel that person and why they want you to do that thing. And you feel that they've got a need for you to do it, and you feel their needs, right? And it's like, you don't like to feel when people feel that they need something, because you can feel their pain, right? So you're feeling their pain. But, to be a strong empath, basically, to live with your state of empathy, if your empathy is really strong and you feel everything, it means being strong enough to not be completely overtaken by your own empathy and to put your own self aside in favour of somebody else because you feel them. You've got to go with the flow, and you've got to do what your guidance tells you is most important for you in all situations, all people, right? So, process, the Hanged Man. Two people, Two of Pentacles, right in the heart of the matter. So it's about two people. So it's always about twin flame process. This is about a connection in the mind between two individuals that are twin flames, and the connection through the mind. And again, the connection through the mind, which is about being clear of any worry, any shame, any embarrassment, any pressure, any stress, which is also about your feeling, your empathy, because twin flames are empathic, about the feeling that you have to put somebody first before yourself. So there's something going on with this moon about that. It's a Cancer moon, so it's like expansion of love, right? And love is like you have to put your own gas mask on first, oxygen mask, before you help anybody else. So you have to do for yourself what makes you feel good, so you can be in a position to be thriving, so then you can maybe help somebody else. And this is on a daily basis. It's not a one-off. You never get to that position where you're like, okay, I'm all right now, everything's all right every day. It's a constant daily process of what have you got to do today? And where does this, is somebody else, have you got the time for that thing that other person wants today? Or have you got things that you want to do today? Right? So you've got to put yourself first. And that's sort of related to your twin flame process, because you, as a feminine, putting yourself first means that your masculine counterpart puts themselves first, which means that they are therefore going to put on the sidelines anything that's not about you, connecting to them. Because if you're the most important thing to them, which you are in the mind, but to access that and to then do something about it through an open heart means that you have to do the most important thing for you. Because the most important thing for them is you. And if they're going to do the most important thing for them, it's coming back to you. So you have to do what's the most important for you, what makes you feel good. And you have to carry on opening up that energy in the heart of feeling good and not feeling, pressure from other people to conform to something that might be right for them but isn't right for you. Because that pressure will never end, because we're human. And to be distanced from it is to release all needs. And, then you tell yourself everything's going to be all right, because it is. And put on that song from Jesus Christ Superstar, everything's going to be all right, because it is. And listen to that. And repeat on repeat, right? And replace your own thoughts with something like that. Queen of Wands, vibration, created through your vibration, a feminine vibration. So again, it just all boils down to you and how you feel. and how you are connected to your vibrational self, which means how are you connected to, in your head, how much you worry and how much you stress and fret and how much you nail bite over things and how much you are concerned about what you should be doing, how you should be doing it. Because everything is as it is if you let it be as it is. And everything will come around to you in the right time for you to do it. If you leave it alone, your higher self will give you the guidance and it will just go, okay, it's time to do this now, whatever it is. And you'll sit down and you'll do it, whatever it is. Because when your twin flame comes back to you, as we said in the last reading, or one of the readings of the monthlies, when they come back, it's completely guided. So it has to be an open channel of guidance. And that's through vibration. It's not through talking to someone or asking them to do something. It's through the vibration. So it's following higher self. So it's doing what you're guided to do at the time that you're guided. It's like you might be halfway through a meal and suddenly you put your knife and fork down and you stand up and you go off and do something else. It's being guided, without finishing the meal. And you're not worrying about, I didn't finish the meal off, it's going to go cold or it's going to go off. You're just like, I've got to do this right now, and you go and do it. Right? So because when the masculine twin is guided back, they just do it. They do what they're told by their vibrational self, by their higher self. And they put down whatever they're doing, and they get up and they walk over to something else, and they sit down and they log on, and they send an email, or they send a text, or they make a phone call, or they start even looking for you to find you so they can contact you. Even that is guided. It's like, okay, I've got to do this now, right? But it's through vibration, not through enticement, right? Or enmeshment or entanglement, right? It's not through a head space. It's through a clear space. So this moon is about us coming into a clear space for two people to reconnect through their guidance. And before you reconnect with that person through your guidance, you're going to be guided to do a lot of other things through your guidance. It's like I say, today I've literally been walking around the house. I've been touching on a lot of things, different things that I've been doing, different subjects. It's all been very easy and pleasant and liberating, because I've literally just gone from one thing to the next without thinking, I've got to finish this thing and getting really tangled down in it. And I've just gone with the flow. Right, so you've got that before you reconnect, there's just this go with the flow energy that you're in. You might notice, I did notice this thing that I was cooking. I was like, this is taking a really long time. I thought it was going to take half an hour. It took like an hour and a half. But I just noticed it briefly, and then I carried on, and it wasn't a burden. I wasn't like, oh my God, it's taking too long. I just did it and we got on. Right, so 9 of Wands, wounded warriors. So it's a mental connection, right? Two people connected through the mind. This is the masculine, wounded and down and feeling low and having to get back up again. So it's unguided to get back up, basically. So when they get back up and move on, which means moving onwards towards you or back towards you, or whatever you want to call it, it's guided. So, and it's, by letting go of the mental stress and the worry, that they will be guided forth. So that's just clear to know. Ace of Wands, which is point of attraction. So by not worrying, simply not worrying, you reach your point of attraction, where everything is, there's a big smile. It's a big smile on your face. There might be nothing showing up in the physical world for you. There might be nothing looking like you've won the jackpot. But there's still a big smile on your face and a feeling good, because it just feels so good, whatever it is that you're doing, because you're doing what you're asked to do and you're going with the flow. And when you go with the flow, things turn out right. And like I said, you get this like the hand of God swooping in and changing a situation for you. Like taking hold of the steering wheel and turning the corner in the car before you get to the destination that's looming ahead, where you don't, that says like 10-foot drop ahead, no road ahead. And you're like, oh my God, I'm going towards no road ahead. And suddenly the car drives itself around a corner and there's all flowers and rainbows and it's like Toyland. And everything's made out of sweets and sugar canes and and everybody's walking around, and it's like, you know, like a harmonious, like children's comic visual, village visual, with the postman and the little dog, and you know. So, vibrational accuracy through not worrying. It's available at this moon. And if it's available to the feminine, that means that the masculine will be also feeling it. I think I'm going to sneeze. Is it coming or is it going? No, it's gone. Okay. Justice, two people, higher self, the high priestess. So if you're feeling like you're not really connected to your physical world, if it's feeling like you're bouncing off the surfaces in your house as you walk around, like nothing's, you know those days where you can like go and look at the computer or the laptop or the iPad or whatever, and it does something extraordinarily like weird, like it says to you, this isn't working, you can't have this. You're not going to be able to use it. The whole thing's broken. It just like sends up one of those messages for like no rhyme or reason, and you go into a state of like Wah! Because it's like, now I've got to sort that out, and why isn't it working? And it did this before, and this is not one of those days. This is not one of those days. This is one of those days where even if you do go up to your iPad and you click on it and it sends up a thing like you have been logged out and you cannot now access this app ever again. You're just going to go, oh well, I'll put that aside. I know that'll be all right later next time I try that, so I'll just put that aside and I'll get on with something else. La 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 la. Because if you leave it and let go, the next time you open it, it's going to go, oh, hello, here you are, welcome to the app. You know, it's like that kind of energy. It's just bouncing off things. We're in the energy of bouncing off things, bouncing off reality and not getting sucked in by the fear. And everything is fear. An app saying it's never going to let you in again, that's fear, right? So underneath we have got the masculine energy and mastery of the masculine. So process, Hanged Man, the Queen of Wands, the creation through the vibration of the feminine, and then we've got mastery for the masculine underneath these two people. So it is a time of mastery coming up, but it's not, people assume a lot of the time with spirituality that mastery is a hard-bitten thing, and that it's a focused intention of work, and that it's about, as a serious business, this mastery of vibration. But actually, that couldn't be further from the truth. The mastery of vibration is the letting go of all seriousness. It's the understanding that less is more. There's, less entanglement in reaching a successful vibration, a creative vibration, than there is entanglement. So there isn't any, books that you have to read about it. Well, you can if you want, as long as they don't make you feel bad. There's nothing wrong. If they enlighten you and you feel good, then why not? But it's literally the lightening up and the feeling good that's the key. So you could get that as well from reading a spiritual guidance book, as you could from reading the Walking Dead comic. If the Walking Dead comic makes you feel really good, then you're there. It doesn't have to be a heavy tome. It doesn't have to be the Bible. It doesn't have to be anything that, serious, that talks about how you've got to worry about this and worry about that, because you'll only get there if you do this or you don't do that. How you get there is by being happy. That's how you succeed in vibration. And if you succeed in vibration, you succeed in everything, because life will take care of itself for you, because it will match up to your happy vibration. So what's the opposite of happy? It's worry. So how do you get to happy? You're not worrying. By not worrying about anything. By noticing. Or, if there's any focus in it, it's the noticing. It's the noticing, how do I feel? How do I feel? And it's paying attention, because if you pay attention to when you are happy, then you'll know what happiness is, right? And happiness can come from nothing. It doesn't have to come from something landing on your doorstep that says you can be happy now because you've got this. It just comes from feeling free of anything that would stop you from feeling happy. So nothing is required to feel happy, only the letting go of worry. Because one worry could be, well, that thing hasn't turned up, so I can't be happy. And that, if that's the case, then you're worrying. So it's all got to be let go of, all of it. Any expectation, desires are inbuilt, it's a different thing. Desire is a different, level of energy inside of you. Burning desire. I mean, it's like a pit, it's down in the stomach, right? It's further down, it's in your sexual chakras, it's a burning feeling. Desire, it's not a thought. It's not egoic. It's beyond ego. It's chemistry. It's down in your lower chakra, your Svadhisthana, if I remember correctly, which I might not. Right. So, mastery of the masculine vibration through creation through the feminine by not worrying, being in higher self, not worrying, connecting into the perfect, celebratory vibration. This is the win, right? This is the holding the trophy over your head. Like, yay! I'm here. I'm happy. I'm bouncy. I'm liberated from my worries and my fears. Justice. And you start to see the world reflecting back at you with that. So then you can smile even more because it's like, ha! I knew I wouldn't have to go to that thing because I knew it would turn out differently. And it will. Justice process. 9 of Wands. Masculine, the end of their process, right? And mastery underneath of the masculine. So this is a 9. This is a 10, I guess. So it's from there to there, right? Yeah, that's it. That's the end. And then that's the first phase. 10 is 10 is the ending itself, but he's now risen up, right? King of Wands, mastery. Okay, and then on here, just get one out. Energy coming along, moving along for 2 people, physical dimension. So this energy is bringing something along. It's bringing 2 people together. The energy we're in now. King of Wands, love, Ace of Cups. So it's wholeness, right? It's feeling, it's oneness, it's connection. True love, soulmate love, twin flame love, whatever you want to call it. The one. And the one that reflects who you are back at yourself. So it's the big one, but it's also the really good one, because once you reach a place where you're feeling really good, that one that's coming along, the 9 of Wands, the wounded one, is in mastery. So they're also feeling really good and feeling happy and feeling light and bouncy and filled with fun and ready to have fun. Justice, happiness in relationship. So what's right is coming along in terms of that. High Priestess and the Page of Cups, which is new love coming along. So it's all what's coming along is love. 8 of Swords, this is a mental connection. And the pain and the mental connection created through the pain. You release the pain by feeling it and seeing it and understanding it and being and experiencing it, basically. Experiencing the turmoil of your own ego as it attacks you with the fear, and healing it by coming out the other side of it, feeling released from it and feeling a lot better because of that. Because that's one thing that Twin Flame process does to you. You go right down into the depths of despair. So when you come out of that and you're feeling better, you know what it is to feel better than bad. And because it's despair because of nothing really, because it's an energetic process. So it's not like there's really anything in your life to say feel despair. It's pretty much more the lack of anything in your life, which is the conundrum, because you're not able to move forward in many ways and change that. It's like you are kept at a distance from the physical dimension as you go through an energetic process where you can't get your hands on things to manipulate them into what you'd like them to be in the physical. You just have to go with the flow. Right, and nobody said, the flow is what you're going to like. It's just go with it, whatever it is. 9 of Wands, timing. So we're coming to the time where the masculine is ready to rise up again and ready to step into their power, as in the King of Wands underneath everything. What was on him again? Love. Step into his power or her power of the ability to love. The acceptance of and the willingness of taking the opportunity to love, grasping it, instead of running away from it, hiding from it, causing a load of stress about it that you have to clear as a feminine. You have to go into there and you have to be with it, and you have to wrestle it. It's like a wrestling match in your head, right, between the masculine and the feminine. And then you come out again and you're in the higher feminine energy and you're feeling great again. And you won. And love always wins. A Hanged Man. Love coming along. So whatever waiting game it is that, is this process, it's love coming along, basically. It comes along incrementally, right? Whenever you go down into the dark and then you come back into the light. That's love coming along. So it's constantly into the dark, into the light, into the dark, into the light. This is a light moment, this moon. It's a very bright, healthy, whole feeling in this Cancer moon, even though it's a dark moon. It's very fun. There's a lot of fun to be had, they're saying. Just like bobbing around, doing whatever it is you feel like doing and not taking things seriously. And also a really, really heavy emphasis on putting off whatever it is you don't feel like doing, which in a sense is your own power, It's like if you can be inside yourself in a powerful state of I don't feel like doing that. It's not, I'm not stressing about it. Just I'm doing this instead today. But that's power. That's how things turn out for you in the way that you want, because you can never force a square peg into a round hole. It will only cause pain, and you will not get the result you want, because you can't squeeze a square peg into a round hole. So you'll just get it all misshapen and bashed up, and it won't be what it's supposed to be, which is why you can only do what you're meant to do on that day. Whether it's baking a cake, even if you bake a cake on a day when you don't feel like doing it, that cake's going to come out flat or flatter than it would. And I have to say, as your vibration rises, you can even do things on a day when but no, it's not really that. You can do things without really know what you're doing, and they'll come out right. Like that thing I cooked today. There was no recipe, no measuring. I just did it. It was all right. Right, Queen of Wands, relationship. So what's coming along here? Relationship. See, the relationship in the moon, right? It's your relationship with yourself. It's like not putting pressure on yourself. When you ultimately have a relationship with someone else, it can't be about putting pressure on anybody else or feeling pressure on yourself in the relationship, because it will just come crumbling down and end. The whole twin flame process is about self-worth. For both of them, masculine and feminine, it's about self-worth. It's about feeling valuable enough to take your time over things for you, because that's how long it's going to take for you to do it in the way that's going to make you feel good when you do it. Right? It's not about for anybody else. It's about you. And your feeling good has to remain, right? And so does your twins. So all that has to be instilled in your operating mechanism before you come back together. not afterwards. Afterwards there won't be any time, there's only fun. There's not focusing on issues and trying to heal someone else's issues. It's just good times, right? You're not coming back together so you can be a carer. You're coming back together so you can be a lover. And Four of Swords is the love that is still there but can't be seen. The biggest, causes the stress and the worry. And there's the not worry coming out with that. And Ace of Wands, let go. When I was just pulling this last card out, right, as I've got that one there, they were saying it's all about the when will it come back? This what causes this worry. It's the when question, like when is it going to be? When are they coming? Because it's how long is a piece of string? It's a process, And I know so well to be told repeatedly, given dates, given times, probably you know that yourself, dates, months, right, that it's going to resolve itself, that they're coming back, and they don't, because it's never going to be because somebody else tells you when it's going to be. And all that's coming through to you for is so that you can clear away the disappointment of it not coming back, because you have to clear that feeling of disappointment before you can have it back, because that disappointment is not happiness, right? So maybe you're feeling this month, this Cancer moon, that you're letting go of some of that even. And if you are, then that's really good, because it's good to let go of that causes the worry and the stress. If you're still that part of process that you're in, where that's your main concern, then that's the biggest let go. And after that, there's other let goes, and during that, there's other let goes. But that's the main concern that has to be let go of, because you can't be given the time for it. You can't be given a date or a month. It's a guessing game. Anybody that gives that, and I've given it myself to people as well. So, but I've been told to give it. The thing is, they tell you. So any psychic might tell you when it's going to be. But just because they're being told something doesn't mean that they're being told the right thing. It means they're being told what they need to tell you so that you can learn to let go. And I've learned that myself over the years, right? So twin flame, you go to a psychic, it's not like you're going to a psychic as a person that's not a twin flame, because you're going through an energetic process, which is all about letting go. So you're probably not going to you might hear what you want to hear, but it's probably not going to match up to the physical reality you live in. So I wouldn't put any eggs in that basket, to be honest, because it's just going to lead to more disappointment, and then you have to let go again. You might as well just let go straight off. You don't know when, and nobody knows when, but you'll know when as you get closer, incrementally. And then towards the end of your own process, you'll really clearly know and feel when it's going to happen. But you will know that. Nobody else will know that, because it's not their process. And a lot of psychics don't even read for twin flames. They don't even believe in it or understand it. So they can't even log into it, and read it. Anyway, I don't know why I'm saying that. I just am. And on that note, if anybody wants a reading, you can contact me through my website, and the link is in the description box below. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. Lots of love. And I will see you in the next one, whenever that is. Take care. Have a good moon.